5.
The next week is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment. It's going to be our 9/11 moment.
The U.S. prepares for its toughest week of the coronavirus pandemic so far, as the number of cases surpasses 300,000. Plus, remembering a Portland icon, Arlene Schnitzer passed away at the age of 91 Saturday. We'll share your memories made possible by the concert hall in her name. But first, with park facilities closed and tourism down, the city of Portland could lose $100 million in revenue. We'll break down the numbers. Your News at 5 starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here with us. I'm Brittany Folgers. Now, before we get to those headlines, I just want to start out with a little joy that has really kept me going this past week. Dr. Jason Campbell is a resident at OHSU. Healthcare workers like him are on the front lines of the virus right now. But that won't stop Dr. JC and his colleagues from busting a dance move. Check it out.
Right foot, now left foot. 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 One.
Yes, I am dancing off camera right now. You just can't see it. His videos have gone viral all over social media, writing a little prescription for fun. But it's the conversation I had with him that really stuck with me the most. He told me that, yeah, times are really scary right now, but he can't help but be positive. It's just who he is. Now, me, I'd like to say that I'm a glass half full kind of gal, but it can be really hard right now to be sunny during these dark days. And I know a lot of you are feeling the same way right now. That's why I'm so thankful for people like Dr. Campbell, who can help lift us up at a hard time when it's really rough for us to do it for ourselves. Now let's get to some of your top stories. The city of Portland is looking at a possible $100 million loss in revenue because of COVID-19. With the widespread closures, the city isn't getting the money it normally would from things like hotel taxes or park programs. Lindsay Nadrich spoke to the city's budget director about the impact this could have on city services.
How long this health crisis goes will determine how quickly the city of Portland can bounce back.
The challenge that we're experiencing is not just that this is really sort of unprecedented in terms of the impact that's having on our revenues, but also in terms of the uncertainty. The longer we are in this crisis, the more significant the impact will be on our city finances.
Jessica Kennard is the city budget director. She estimates the city could see a loss of anywhere from $40 million to $100 million or more because of COVID-19. That's money that would normally go to the general fund, which is used to pay for things like police and fire, the Parks Bureau, and other city services. Tourism is down, so the most immediate loss comes from taxes the city isn't getting right now from hotels and people staying in other lodging facilities. People are also driving less, so the Bureau of Transportation isn't seeing as much money from gas taxes or parking meters.
Things have changed astoundingly over the last couple months.
The Parks Bureau also took a big hit with the immediate closures of community centers, pools, and gyms. That alone could be a loss of $900,000.
The revenue that flows into the Parks Bureau for their recreational services is about half funded by the fees that they collect by the very facilities that are closed right now.
The city had to lay off 750 people. The majority were from the Parks Department. And another 200 people were supposed to start seasonal jobs that aren't happening now either.
This is a time of great uncertainty for everybody and heightened anxiety for everybody. And so, we're working closely with the mayor's office and our chief human resource officer and trying to be really thoughtful about approaching any sort of more significant labor actions.
Jessica says they won't know just how bad the financial impact of the coronavirus outbreak will be until this is all over, but says they're doing the best they can to adjust and figure out what it means for city services moving forward. Portland is expected to get $100 million in disaster aid from the more than $2 trillion relief package. I'm Lindsay Nadrich, KGW News.
The federal government is sending more medical supplies to states that need them most. Thousands of N95 masks and ventilators will be sent to the Northeast, which has become the epicenter of the outbreak. They come as the U.S. prepares for what will likely be the worst 2 weeks of the pandemic. Health officials are urging people to stay home, to even avoid grocery stores and pharmacies.
The next week is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment. It's going to be our 9/11 moment. It's going to be the hardest moment for many Americans in their entire lives.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced the state will return more than 400 ventilators to the Strategic National Stockpile. They'll be going to states facing higher numbers of cases, like New York. Governor Inslee was also on Meet the Press this morning. He was part of a joint.
And the reason is that even if Washington gets on top of this fully, if another state doesn't, it can come back and come across our borders 2 months from now. So this is important to have a national success. But I want to reiterate, we are a long ways away from being out of the woods. We have not got down to anywhere close to where we need to be to declare victory of this horrendous virus.
That interview there was from Meet the Press this morning. It was a joint interview with Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, who has not yet issued a stay-home order for Arkansas. You could hear they discuss the different approaches they've been taking to combat the virus. Inslee there saying that there should be a national stay-home order to further slow the spread of the virus. Now, Inslee went on to say he hopes President Trump mobilizes the country's industrial base using the Defense Production Act so that companies start making test kits and other products to fight the pandemic. A link to this full interview can be found right now on KGW.com. And let's get to a check on the latest case numbers now. Oregon is reporting 1 new death, bringing the total to 27. Health officials announced 69 new cases, cracking 1,000 cases here in the state. In all, more than 20,000 people have been tested. In Washington, there have been 338 deaths. There's more than 7,900 positive cases. In all, more than 87,000 people have been tested. And we've been hearing about all the ways different schools, small to large, are handling distance learning. Well, one private school in Portland has decided to pair its online learning with the concept of a drive-through. Christine Pitawanich explains.
When someone says drive-through, I don't know about you, but I think fast food. But that's not the case for one school in East Portland. Columbia Christian School has about 260 students from kindergarten to 12th grade. While those in middle and high school are mostly doing their learning online, Amy Wenzel, president of the school, says staff have come up with another idea for the younger kids.
So we set up a drive-through.
Yep, a drive-through. Just instead of hamburgers, it's homework.
We had our gloves on and our coats on and created an opportunity for parents just to drive up and hand them things through the window.
Middle school students got some work packets too, and it wasn't just teachers passing out packets. Kids had to turn in their completed assignments too. That work is supplemented with daily online check-ins with teachers and phone calls every week. It's a system Wenzel says they're prepared to do for the long haul if necessary.
Providing the drop-off, what have you completed, drop that off, and then here's the next round of work for you.
The work packets are a little different, not just the run-of-the-mill, fill-in-the-blank type of busy work.
Thinking thematically, project-based learning, how do I get kids to really focus in on a specific activity or skill where I'm able to assess learning.
Do you think by doing this drive-through kind of exercise, it kind of makes students more accountable to doing that work?
Absolutely.
Wenzel says another pickup and drop-off will be scheduled soon. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.